Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Orme and today we're back playing some more franchise hockey manager with the Montreal Canadiens. Still got that goal, 25th Cup in mind. We are not doing amazing right now. We kind of took a step back after some promising progress. We stacked the roster, didn't work out. We dialed back, didn't really work out. So we're retooling again. To try and make it a little bit further. You know, we need to get to the Stanley Cup final. We need to try and put up a big fight there to try and get our hands on the cup. So everything's geared towards that right now. So this is our prospect pool, the unsigned draftees at the moment. Looks pretty good, I've got to say. There's some good options in here, but there's a lot of backup options as well, especially in defense. Most of the really good prospects have been called up now in one way or another or signed. There's no goalies in here. We've done everything we can, bringing all our guys up. And on the wing, we got a couple of good wingers and a good center. So, you know, it's depth, middle six kind of players and sort of top four defensemen we've probably got going on here. So they're not all going to make it. Some of these will be trading assets. We'll work out kind of who, when, and where. It's been a busy kind of off-season. I got really busy off-season. I got one upcoming free agent that we basically have to re-sign. They came in through, I believe, a waiver claim. So let's start with the waiver claims. And we have Shane Pinto on waivers. Like, why he gets there, I don't know. But Ottawa did not protect. And I can use someone like that, middle six kind of guy. I don't really believe he's a 4-star player. I think he's more likely to turn out to be a 3. And so, yeah. We'll kind of see how that goes. Right now, he looks really, really good. And if he's unhappy down in the AHL, we'll call him up next season. We'll take a look at him. And if he doesn't make the roster, then maybe we'll try and trade him. But until then, I think, you know, we'll just see how he goes. If he does hold on to that 4-star potential, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. As well as Suzuki, and I think we've got to go into contracts here a little bit as well. And look at all our guys coming down. As well as him, we've got, you know, a few players down here you'll see. So again, a deep prospect pool. We've got some really good numbers down in the AHL as well. So almost a full forward core. You know, 4 defensemen. We have got 10 forwards. And we've also got 3 goalies. Now, they're not all going to stay down there, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see kind of how that all shakes out in the future. But for right now, I wouldn't expect too much craziness. So we got a ton of guys here. Also, through waivers, I want to point out that we did get Ryan Suzuki, another 4-star potential player. Carolina let them go for some reason. Didn't really want to bring them up. And this one doesn't make sense to me because this one is an NHL ready player. Now, while Pinto might need some work, this is more of an NHL player. They're going to be called up into the roster for us. And we'll see how they get on. But overall, I think it's a very, very nice pickup there. So, still figuring out where these players are going to go. As well, in waivers, we had Jacob Skaruk, Skaruk is another 3.5-star player. Very solid, big body goalie. I don't mind that at all. Looks okay. He's not too far off our starter last season. He's better than our backup last season. And yeah, he's probably our 4th, 5th goalie. With potential to really grow. Currently unhappy, as is the other waiver claim, Veini Velainen, who again is a very solid 3.5 kind of guy. We'll see how he works out, but again, he's borderline ready to play NHL. So we've got these big players that we can bring up if need be. We've got some depth players. We've got some options. We can really trade in and around with those goalies and make sure that we got the best guys that we need to get. We also called up Askarov. He is, of course, going to be a backup for this season until he wins that starting job. He looks really solid right now. He looks really good mentally. I like him a lot. We know he's going to be a star one day. It all depends when. We also brought in Leighton Moore from the unsigned draftees. We signed him to a new deal. Got him where we really think he suits right now is in the AHL. But long term, he could be a really, really nice player. So I'm looking forward to see how he develops. Offensively already looks good. But when he hits his stride, he could be an absolute monster. So he's currently on his 3-year deal. And yeah, next season I think he could step up. He definitely could step up. Okay, free agents. So earliest to latest, I believe. First thing I did was bring in Jake DeBrusk. Because why not? He's cheap. Like, he didn't want a big contract. There really wasn't much to it. And, yeah, honestly, he's another former first-round pick. That's a very, very good player. And, I think we've got an absolute bargain. We've got him through his prime. We'll take him up to like 30, 31. And he's just going to be another good performer for us. He can play left or right wing. I'm leaving him on the left, though. I think that's going to suit him for right now. He's coming off back-to-back seasons with different teams, 81 and 73 points. So if I can get 60 points out of him on that second line, then I'd be happy. He might even sneak some first-line minutes, depending how Gaudreau plays. If I want to shake up the lineups and I want to take over as head coach, I think he has that potential. But right now, 5 years, $3.5 million, absolutely solid player. Should contribute quite well. To make room, I moved DeBrincat over to the right wing. So yeah, we'll see how he gets on there. But he should now be my first line right winger. So he moves from the second line on the left to the first line right wing. I like that move. We also brought in Bobby Brink. He's unfit at the moment, but he's a free agent. He was unrestricted. Again, I don't know how these kind of players get onto the list, but if they're there, I'm going to take them. It allows us a lot of flexibility with our top-line stars where, if DeBrincat doesn't work out, Keller, Tippett, anyone like that, if someone like Johnny Gaudreau, Olsen, DeBrusk don't work out, we've got all these players around us now, and someone like Bobby Brink could be a really, really good second, third line center. Maybe not this season, maybe next season. But end of this year, it does allow us to move a lot of players on if we need to. Retool, go out, trade 3 great players for a superstar, a mega star, and not have it be too crazy. I also brought in Lawrence, another guy with potential, another guy I thought could be quite decent. And yeah, another free agent. Still got a long way to go, but a perfect AHL player right now with upside. And that's kind of what a lot of these free agents are like. 3-star and above potential, young guys with a lot of upside that I can see how their game would translate for us. Jacob Bernard Docker is another one. Very, very decent offensive defenseman. So, give him a year in the AHL. Call him back up, see what he looks like and how he might fit. Also, we went and got Caden Gould, who I think is a really solid two-way defenseman. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he develops. Because I'm looking more for two-way players now. To try and fit in and around the great players we have on the team. We have Maverick Bork, who again, very solid 4-star potential. Again, I don't think he holds that, but he's a really good sort of Maybe second line center if he does. Maybe he'll fit on the right wing, but he does have face-offs in his locker. We'll see how that goes. And again, two 28-year-olds with Barkov and Lindholm. We can move them in 2 years and transition to someone like Benier's on the first line. Not an issue. Raymond Bourque. I wish that was Raymond Bourque. Maverick Bourque on the second line. Lawrence on the third line. Devine on the third line, maybe. Fantil on the fourth line. Like, we've got so much there. Middle six, sort of either top line or middle six players. Like, there's so many options at centre. So many options. Love that. We also brought in Jean-Luc Foury, who will make the main roster. We have been playing with left-handed defensemen on the right-hand side, so I've converted most of those back to left-hand defensemen for now. They'll retrain, get used to it, and it'll be like they never played right, and that's fine by me. But what I really like here is he is a two-way defenseman, old-school shutdown kind of guy if you're going to play him defensively, but then he's a really good player going forward too. So I really like what he's got. I really like the mix of attributes, and yeah, he's gonna find a role on this team this year. It's another free agent, so a lot of these are young guys for the future. But Bernard Docker, I know, wanted to retool the defense. Foudy wanted to retool and sort of bring these guys up. Get a chance to really make right-handed defensemen on the right-hand side a focus. And then Jake DeBrusque to bring in to help out that forward core. Everybody else for really potential. Evangelista's one of those. 3-star player, but again, another offensive-minded player. Another guy I think can get the job done going forward. Probably a second-line player. Probably. Maybe a third line if we get a scoring line together on the third line. But again, mainly depth and cover injuries, play in the AHL for a little bit, maybe a trading asset late on. Then we got Deigel. He is solid, but again, very much a left-wing version of Evangelista. Probably a little bit more raw, but again, solid and a chance for the future. And another goalie in Krona, because why not? Very solid. And again, we got so many options now. We have so many options. If you look at the young players on this team, okay, there's some role players. There's going to be some middle six, bottom six players. There's going to be bottom pair defensemen in here somewhere. They're never going to hit their potential. They're never really going to fit in with what we want to do. We did have a lot of people come back unfit, and we've had to shout to some of them. But the level of improvement here, if you look at 23-year-olds above, it's like so many players have at least a star or star and a half development to go. Some have so much more than that. So we've got this young core in the AHL and on rookie deals to kind of step up in the next 2 to 3 years. The only ones really sort of looking like a force right now is Benier's. And he was ready to go. He's always been ready to go. So, pretty happy to see him, with a better role this time. 31 points, 82 games. That's not bad, really, for a rookie campaign. 37 and 49. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. That's a 50, maybe 60-point season, depending how the back half of the season goes. But yeah, overall, I think that's a really, really decent year for him. And with a full year under his belt, third-line minutes right now, we might make a trade or two to kind of free up some roles. Because I do think we're top-heavy. We look a little bit kind of too stacked in places, but we're getting our money out of our contracts. So yeah, really, really decent. And that brings us on to a lot of the trades. So we let go of Caden Primo. He went with a couple of thirds, upgraded those to a couple of firsts via Chicago. So he's playing for the Blackhawks, who is not the only player that's gone there. Spoiler alert, but he's not the only one. Then I moved up Backstrom and Svotnikov. Svotnikov's a decent goalie. I think he went up to 3.5 star potential. Between the pair of them, I got a first and a second. I thought that was ridiculous value. I was trying to get a pair of seconds from a bunch of teams, and I couldn't make it work. But Anaheim had such a need, they paid a first and a second, which is, hey, the Ducks want to be the Ducks, that's fine. They want to overpay, that's fine. I'm going to take advantage. Seattle, we did a couple of trades with them. The main one would be Jordan Stahl with a 5th and a 6th and getting back 2 seconds. Could not make that work for a first. Wanted a couple of their prospects, but we couldn't get the job done, which is why I went a little bit crazy and picked up 4 waiver claims and a bunch of young players in free agency. I couldn't really put the prospect pool together through trading, so we just stacked more draft picks on that one. Swayman, another decent goalie. He could be a starter, probably more likely a backup. He did well for us, though. He has done really well for us. 2nd and a 3rd to Minnesota there. Lindgren, very good defenseman. I wanted a lot more, but we only ended up with a 2nd and a 3rd back for him. Probably the Ducks overpaid, the Wild overpaid. Blackhawks 2nd deal, they definitely didn't overpay. But when we add that into the Primo deal, I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable with everything that went to them and everything that came from them. And then we had 2 3-way deals, kind of. Arizona, we give Mark Giordano a 4th and a 7th. Then from them, we got Antti Ranta and some picks. We traded those picks plus Antti Ranta to Vancouver, as well as 3 third rounders of our own. And we end up with Charlie McAvoy, who I think is a really good defenseman, and a 2nd. So that's the first player we brought back in. We've got rid of Primo, Backstrom, Svotnikov, Stahl, Swayman, Lindgren, Giordano. And McAvoy's the first player we've brought back in all these trades. And then we go back to Chicago, and a 2nd deal as well for the Seattle Emeralds in another triangle deal. We give up Nolan Patrick to Chicago Blackhawks. We got back Lampinen and 2 seconds. We shifted those 3 exact players and picks over to Seattle. And what we got back was a starting goalie I think is going to be really, really good for us. So, yeah. Alexander Georgiev, very solid, great mentally, good goalie ratings. If he can improve a little bit in the goalie ratings, maybe reflex, rebounds, I'll be really happy there. Those would be the 2 I'd want to see go up over everything else. But really, he's been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He's yet to have his chance. So, we'll be seeing kind of what he's like and how much he'll actually play and how many he gets. So, let's go past him. But I don't know. I think he's a really, really good goalie. Just hasn't had a chance before now. So he joins us, and yeah, a little bit of an upgrade on Caden Primo there, I feel. Not so much in terms of abilities and stars, but the way they're built, similar, but I think it's more like we had previously with John Gibson than we had with Primo. So I'm pretty happy with that. We got big deals in place on some of our top talents. I'm okay with that. Everybody here gets re-signed. There's a bunch of money going out. It might be the last year with people like Lindholm, people like Tippett, because you know it's a small upgrade. But if Tippett doesn't get the job done, I'm paying $5 million. I'm a bit more upset. Olofsson, there's a $4.5 million contract right now. That goes up to $7.25. If we kind of get this season out of him with 74 points, great. If we get a 40-point or 50-point season, I don't really want to put $7 million on the table for that. Caulfield gets a deal. Clevin will get a deal. Pinto gets a deal. Beignets gets his big deal. Big deal. Goes from rookie deal to 3.8. He could be a first-line center. 3.8. I'm very happy. It's what Tippett's playing under. And he's hitting like 50 points a season. Beignets is currently on the third line. But if he can play sort of top line minutes or second line minutes, I'm pretty sure he could be almost a point a game kind of player. I'm a big fan right now of Matt Beignet. So a very decent deal. Just look, that looks really nice. That looks really nice. This is solid. He's young. He might get better mentally. Defensively, so good. So good. I love having that. I love having that in here. So not too big of a jump there. And then Clark will get a deal. Broberg and Struble. I don't think they're huge. Yeah. That's small. I think Struble is... Yeah, Struble's 2.5. But again, I feel that's a pretty good deal. We still have some big contracts to come up in the future. McAvoy, he's controlled right now. Dobson's controlled. They're going to go through the roof. Denisenko's going to get probably up to about 3.5 to 4. Darlene's probably going to want big bucks. And maybe at that point I'll let him go. Because I haven't seen too much. He's had 4 years in the league. He hit that career high of 52 points for us. But really, for someone being paid that much and looking this good, and I don't know, I'm not seeing it. I think we've got other defensemen who can really step up on that. So the contracts coming up are going to be a bit of an interesting one. We got, like I say, 3 defensemen there, plus Denisenko, who are going to want to get paid. And Brink, if he develops, could want some money too. So it's going to be interesting. We've got some unhappy players. That's fair enough. They don't want to be playing down there. Some are unhappy. They're out of shape. But yeah. Angry, offer sheet, isolated, wrong level, new number, refused. There's quite a lot with Verlaine in there. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know how many of these we're going to keep. But right now, if we look at goalie depth, I'm actually going to jump into the filters for this, since we got everybody who we've got signed. So, Georgiev is there. Askarov is backup. Verlaine, in case we get any injuries. But then again, I'm looking at these guys and they can all be there. But yeah, probably trade bait for Verlaine, Skarek, and Krona, but they couldn't find teams. So that's why they're with us right now. But I think that's a really, really good goalie corps. Left-handed defenseman. Rasmus Dahlin transitions back. Hopefully has a better season. This is going to be a contract year for him to really show me. Otherwise, we're probably trading him at the end of the season and getting a ton back in return. Which would be nice because, we didn't give up too much. Pair of thirds and a couple of 4-star prospects. It's quite bad, actually. It is quite bad. It'd probably get, 2 firsts. That maybe equates to 2 firsts. So if Darlene goes there and we get, something really good back for him, I'll be happy. If we get less than 2 firsts, I'll probably be a little unhappy. But we got Lindholm, we got Struble, who again played right side last year. Now he's back on the left. Broberg, Okotjuk, for depth, and then future of Clevin, Gould, and more. Again, I don't think we need to do too much. Lindholm's 29, he's the club captain. Solid player. Everyone else is really young. So it's just the best. Whoever rises to the top is who we get. Noah Dobson, Charlie McAvoy, and Jean-Luc Foudy. Very, very decent. Bernard Docker, good backup. Toomey still for the future. All young guys. McAvoy's the oldest there at 25. On the left wing, Johnny Gaudreau's now 30. Probably coming towards the end of his time with us. If he does drop off points total-wise, we might start trading him. Moving Jake DeBrusk up. Moving Olofsson up if they're still with us. But those are the 3 veterans. That's our top 3 players. Denisenko, Suzuki, very, very good. Pinto, Almqvist, good backups. Porno actually went to free agency. We had to re-sign him fully. And yeah, he probably plays better on the wing than at centre, so we moved him in. And we got Daigle. Very solid. We move over to the right. The Brinkat's our new starting right winger. Keller keeps that second line. Tippett probably could be traded. Clark might play better on the third line. And then it's Brink, Kemmel, Caulfield, all superstars ready to go. So yeah, we can figure out how we want to trade some of these away perhaps and make this work. The Brinkat can go back out on the left if we need to as well. But it's whoever is good first. Whoever steps up first. Whoever performs first. That's who's going to come up here. So very, very good depth. Not the best right wing core, but again, very, very solid. You know, two possible first lines. We've got 2 possible second lines, 2 possible third lines. Now, that's kind of the ranges the top 4 guys are in. And all of these backups here are probably good enough to play 4th line minutes this year. So yeah, again, not too old, looking really good. And then the centre depth is obscene. 2 28-year-olds that look amazing. And we got Beignets ready to step up. Jack Devine looking to step up. Fantil, good depth right now. And we got Bork and Lawrence who could make it. And we can also trade in, you know, somebody else. We can draft someone, and we can maybe move in a winger. So it all depends how we want to set things up. But right now, we're stacked on the team. We're really stacked for the future. We've got some good people set up. Let me get my set lines. And create lines from lineup. That's basically what we're going with. So, Goodrow, Lindholm, the Brinkat, DeBrusque, Barkov, Keller, Olofsson, Beignets, Tippett, Denisenko, Devine, Clark. That's what we've got right now. Darlene and Dobson, Lindholm, McAvoy, Struble, and Fody. Georgiev with Askarov to back him up. I really like this team. We're a bit under the salary cap. We're not going to keep everybody together for the next 2 years. That's just not how it's going to go. So, I'm very happy though. We still got a bunch of firsts and seconds for the next couple of years. And like I say, with all these superstars we have, the fact that we've been able to pick up so many through waivers and free agency that we can flip for more picks, we're just upgrading our picks, gaining more, and making sure we can sustain a push. So, yeah, we're getting into the game is broken territory. But yeah, I'm just desperate at this point to get the Montreal Canadiens some semblance of success because we've been good. We've been really good. But we haven't got the job done. So, looking again for around 100 points. Like, 95 within the playoffs I would take. I'd be disappointed, but I would take it. But yeah, we're looking for 100, 105 points. And maybe 52 wins. Maybe 52. So, we'll see kind of how that comes together. So I'm very happy with how things are going. We are going to go up to the trading deadline. And we're going to see how that works out. Looks like we open up with a win. Okay, you can already see we're starting to get up on leaderbox here. That's good. Okay. So yeah, I'll come back when we are sort of at the trading deadline. We're going to look at how good we are. If we continue to win, right now we win our opening 3. If we do continue to win a lot of games and the playoffs look safe, I might start looking to trade a couple of people away that I don't think we need, and we can bring in some more youngsters and really look towards the future. I don't think we're going to bring anyone in. We'd only have, I think 3 million in cap space, maybe a little less. So yeah, it's either we keep it together for a playoff run if we think we can win the cup. If not, we're going to have to move some pieces about. At the moment though, Benny is with 10 points through 7 games. Johnny Goodrow the same. and Barkov up there with, what, 13? Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. Georgiev starting off quite well. Askarov with 4 wins in 7. Askarov's played over half of the games. Georgiev's playing with a 1.67 percentage. Askarov's with a 2.2. Wow, if that's a great tandem in goal, if we see the second, third line goal scoring depth, is Penier's going to be up there for points this season? Is he really going to be up there for points this season? I don't know, some big scoring games. We're getting points, boys. We're getting points. No, we don't only have depth. We don't only have prospects. We don't only have a great top line. No, we have superstars. No, we seem to have superstars. 11 wins in a row. 18 points for Johnny Goodrum and Matt Beniers. Alexander Barkov on 17. Yeah, at this point, I'm starting to look at things and thinking, Elias Lindholm, is it time? Is it time? Overtime loss, we lose. We lose a game. Yeah, goalies look good. Goalies look decent. I'm pretty happy. Save percentage, though, we're not above 921. So, yeah. Could probably do better there. But, I mean, I really can't complain. Look who's up there. Look who's up there on the points list. McDavid, McKinnon, Draisaitl, and Fejmo, who's played really well. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but there's Elias Lindholm with 19. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. We're going to go to the deadline, look at things, and then decide what we want to do. There's some 10-win teams here, but we're up there with 14. Buffalo with 12. They've had a great start too. But yeah, we'll be back, and we'll take a look at things a little later then. Okay, so we're at the deadline. I asked for 52 wins. I asked for that, like, nice and early. We got that. We got 105 points. We still got a few games to play. So, 20 left to play. We've hit our targets that I really wanted to get to. That shows we're a really good team. I don't think we're going to be President's Trophy winning unless we win a lot of games, which could be the case. But, yeah, Pinto signed. He's down to 3.5. Let's see. Is there anything else really interesting? See some of these. I do like to look at the development reports and just see stuff like Ingvarsson. Professionalism's always good. Getting open defensive read. Two-way hockey. Love that. Shooting and positioning for Foudy. Great. Struble, acceleration and passing. I kind of like that stuff. You could see Darlin's been gone. Lawrence had a shot. Foudy was out. Keller was out. Let's see here. Caden Gould's face-offs. Lovely. Thank you very much, Caden. Slavkovsky, though. Getting open. Stick-checking leadership. Again, two-way hockey from the wing. He's an offensive guy. He's always going to be offensive. Kemmel, bit of everything there. Gustafsson, fighting, bravery, offensive read, and shot blocking. Mateus, are you going to be an offensive guy? I had you down maybe more of a two-way, but you know, you're developing offensive, which was your strength. So yeah, it looks like right-hand defensemen are going to be offensive. And then defensive on my left-handed defenseman. McAvoy has also been out. Daigel's been changing position. Rasmus again out with another one. That's 2 decent injuries then. Leighton Moore's been moving. Got called up, I guess. Entry draft. Bunch of 3s and 3.5. Looks like 4 there. Axel Carlson, goalie. It says 4, but no, it's down to 3.5. So, 4.5. Eric Ingelsson down to 4. But he might be the top player on the board there. Eric Rantala. 18, 4-star potential. Berkeley Carton. So yeah, it looks like we got a goalie and 2 left-sided defensemen, possibly the top players in the draft there for me. So okay, That's honestly interesting. That's interesting. We are at the deadline. And we're here for one thing and one thing only. And that is to maybe do some trades. Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful the way we're playing two-way hockey. Look at that. The fact we got attack and defense through the center. The fact that Johnny Gaudreau's still doing his bit despite being so offensively minded. But it's pretty good. All of a sudden, yeah, he's just not enjoying life. He's just not enjoying life on the third line. He's going to have some decent points. It's going to be 40-point total kind of guy. DeBrusque, second line minutes, but is hitting his totals from last year. He's pretty even as well. It's not just assists. 32 and 33. That's pretty good. Suzuki's had a decent amount of games. Better totals than last year for him. Johnny Gaudreau, 14 less games. He's coming back in a big way, thankfully. Denisenko, yeah, a little bit better for him. So that left-hand side is improving. We got Owen Tippett, probably on pace for what he had last year. Probably on pace. Probably just about. But yeah, the right-hand side doesn't look as good as the left. The centers. Okay, step up for Jack Devine, but he's not out of his depth. He's not really doing a ton, but he is the fourth line center, more likely a 3.5 star. So much logjam ahead of him. Fantilli, 1 game, 1 assist. Point per game player, Adam Fantilli. We can't count that. We can't count it. There we go. Almost a point a game on the third line from Matt Benier. We knew that. We knew that was coming. Elias is solid. Not exceptional. And yeah, Barkov's above a point a game. Okay, so I'm really happy with the left wing, center. Right wing, not so much. We'll figure that out. Fody is really, really solid. Steps up from the OHL, but still is putting up really good numbers. Noah Dobson, similar pace to last year. He hasn't fallen off. I'm surprised Charlie actually put up those low numbers. Not even 20 points in Vancouver. Yes, he's won every other. So he's about 41 point pace on a full season. That's not too bad. Rasmus has missed a lot of time, but again is still quite similar to last year. Hasn't picked up, but been interrupted. I get that. Lindholm be a little bit behind where he was probably. Broberg just doesn't do much. Strubel's playing two-way hockey. Look at that. Yeah, so Lindholm I'm happy defensively. Darlene at least is playing two-way hockey. Strubel playing two-way hockey. Dobson playing two-way hockey. Fody is there. Broberg and Charlie McAvoy. Why is McAvoy not playing better? I don't know. But a much better year for Strubel. Now he's back on the left. Georgiev, 890, 2.48. I mean, he's only played 21 games, and he has not been injured. 17 wins. Askarov, 35 wins, 911 save percentage, 1.86. Anybody fancy trading Georgiev at this point? Anybody think we could run with Askarov right now and be okay? Because, wee baby, that's yeah, he's borderline starter, but he's performing really well. I really, really like that. So I could trade out Georgiev. We could trade out someone like Broberg. Why is Hampus unhappy? Ice time. I mean, Rasmus is taking it. I guess, but yeah, okay. But yeah, we could trade Georgia. We could trade a Broberg or McAvoy. We could do that. They're not. I don't know why Charlie's not performing better. Like, he's not even setting up defensively the way I thought he would. 19 defensive read, 19 positioning. Can't even hit the 60 game rating in defense. Is it just me or that thinks that's like really weird? Like, super weird. Oh. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed with that. Charlie, Georgiev, Broberg, not really good back there. Suzuki's been a healthy scratch, as expected. I pay the money for next year, not for this year. All of a sudden we could trade. I mean, Denisenko's going to slot into that second line. If we said goodbye to Johnny Goodrum, we'll brusque up to the first, to the first line, and then slot Denisenko and Suzuki on the second and third lines. I think that works out for us. I think that would work out for us. And then we could always trade Lindholm. We got Barkov controlled. If we trade out Lindholm and get as much value as we can there, and then run Beignet number 2, Jack Devine number 3, hopefully on the third line, on a better suited third line, he might be a little more effective. And Fantilli as a fourth line is pretty good. And then the year after or the year after that, we drop Barkov off. We get Beignet number 1, Devine 2, Fantilli 3. I mean, I still think that's a really good core there. But yeah, DeBrincat's okay. Keller's okay. Tippett's still disappointing. We could also trade him out. Push Clark up. And then we're looking at what? Who else really could we call up? So we get rid of a goalie. Any of these three. Probably pull up Bednar. Trade away Skarek. Krona's happy enough down there right now. So we could do something like that. We could really do something like that. Get rid of Villainen as well. We could pull up Bernadoka or Gül, depending. Someone like Okotiuk. Tuomisto for the right-hand side. Almquist or Pinto could come up for the left wing. They're pretty good. Bobby Brink could come up on that right side right now as well. Caulfield, Camel Evangelista, they could all come up. So, I mean, we're under cap. I think we hold it together this year. I think we go with this. We don't need to stack draft picks. We're kind of OP there anyway. We are kind of OP there. In fact, if there's a big free agent at the end of the season, I might put an offer sheet in for 2 or 3 first rounders because it's there. The opportunity's there right now. The one thing I'm kind of thinking about right now, the two things actually I want to see. I want to see who would pay what for Georgiev at the deadline. And I want to see Lindholm. Have I got a third just in case? Have I got a third just in case? Yes, I do. Owen Tippett. We've put him on so many times and never got a good price back. So I'm not going to be convinced that any of these would be good. Okay, so Georgiev for a first. I think he's worth more. So many teams would give up a first. Devon Tears, we don't really want a Patrick Kane. Rental boys. Okay, I mean, that might not be the worst thing in the world. Actually, that might not be the worst thing in the world. That's so interesting. Imagine dropping out Owen Tippett, picking up a draft pick, and then get a second and Patrick Kane back. Mind you, if I'm doing that, I just convert Elias into a right wing again. Kaliev and the first. Kaliev at the first. Oh boy. Oh boy, that might be a big move. That might be something to do there. Kaliev and a first, guys. There's nothing that's approaching that value. He says, and then Jack Eichel's on the table. That money, though. That money is scary. He's a better player. I give him that. He's a better player. I can afford Kaliev. I can 100% afford Kaliev right now. Jack Eichel for Elias Lindholm. Quinn Hughes at the first. Oh, all these teams know how to get my attention. All these teams know how to get my attention. Well. If I had to get rid of Broberg or I had to get rid of Darlene, we could do a lot worse than Quinn Hughes. So Kaliev, Quinn Hughes, plus first round picks. Vancouver and LA want Elias Lindholm. Okay. I mean, Kyler. Okay, yeah, those are definitely my two right now. Nice if I like, but I mean, value's not there. Jonathan Drouin, Huberdeau. Yeah, I'm not looking to get a veteran back necessarily. If I get a young player I think fits the team, that's not bad. I mean, the value's not great, but that's not bad. Big body. Big body player might be better for somewhere down the order a little bit. Frebs, I mean, again, decent. Taylor Hall. Okay, so now we're into Owen Tippett. Patrice Bergeron, Jacob Trouba, Adrian Kempe, Denis Golanov, Neil Pionk, Not, Gusev, Rasmus Ristolainen, Tyler Mott, no. Yeah, I'm not seeing much here. I'm really not seeing much. What's Morozov look like these days? Solid, but I mean, ugh. Yeah, you can see those trades there. I'm tempted to go and talk about Tippett, trade him out for a draft pick, and then do this deal and get Kaliev in to replace Tippett, not Lindholm. Like, I'm tempted to do that. I am tempted to do that. Although I find it interesting that we got a decent amount of Tippett offers. Nothing really good. I've got to be honest. Nothing amazing. And we got an absolute ton of offers for Elias Lindholm I liked. Whereas Georgiev just seemed to be a first rounder. A few teams, but just a first rounder. 56 points, 54 for Calgary. They're in quite a bad place right now. They're in quite a bad place. And that would be the 2024 draft pick. So it would be this year for Calgary. I guess that's a top 4 pick right now. It's a top 4 pick for a goalie that when that's basically playing a third of our games as backup. That's tempting. That's super tempting. That's super tempting. Yeah, so this pick here from Calgary, that might be an issue that, you know, we could solve quite quickly and get a really good chance of getting a top draft pick. This year, I mean, earlier on 70 points, that's again not amazing. That gives us Kaliev. They might fall out of the lottery. They probably won't, but they might. And then just do a deal and get something back that we like. Honestly, I'm probably more interested right now with this pick. With this trade to try and get a pick back, because I just didn't. I mean, Ikonen's okay. He could fill in as a depth guy. Jonathan Darlin, like a fourth liner maybe. But I don't see anyone young that excites me for Owen Tippett. I don't see that working out. So I don't know exactly if any of these deals speak to anyone out there. Let me know, comment section. Who do you think would be a really nice addition out to this bunch? Someone like Gurlanov might be our best case. I mean, he fits that role. I've got to be honest, he would fit that role. He's on way more money. I don't think he's any better. Yeah, I might just try and get a pick back, because I don't see anything. Either a pick or some prospects. If one of these teams has offered us on Tippett, like, has some good prospects, like Dallas are in the doldrums right now. So I could find someone here I liked. Crummins went in last year's draft, round 2. I'm not a big fan of taking last year's draft picks off people. Yeah, he's been there now for, what, 5 years as a round 2 guy. And he's played 13 games. Yes, a two-way depth guy. Solid, nothing crazy. Something like that could work for me. That could maybe work for me. Give me an Eriksson and base the deal off that. See, that's a round 3 guy. Last year's draft, but a round 3 guy outside the top 50. So maybe that would be okay. But again, he just looks terrible. He just looks terrible. Yeah, I might be more interested in some kind of deal here. Colorado are going to be a good team. Colorado are going to be a good team. Okay, so something like this I might be okay with. Because I think Eriksson might play okay for us. I think that might be something that works. We trade up. Their first is going to be way, way, way sort of lower down the order than Colorado's. So we got a good chance of that being a lottery pick. Whereas Colorado are going to be like way up the top here. Yeah, they're the second best team. We are going to be a President's Trophy team. Nobody else is playing anywhere near our standard, which is surprising because some teams have. I really thought we might top out there at about 115, win about half our games, or a quarter of our games, go in a bit of a slump after making these deals. Oh, I forgot to come out of things. Yeah, no, they won't do a 1. It's annoying. It's annoying. I can understand it. I can 100% understand it. Okay, what 2s have we got? What 3s have we got? We don't have 3s. We don't have 3s. Do you like him? You do like him. Okay. Yeah, you like him more than I like him. You do like him more than I like him. 2 seconds for Tippett. What do we pay? So 2 seconds. So that's upgrades right there. So that's 1 round, 2 round. 3 rounds and 4 rounds. So there's basically 4 rounds of upgrades in this deal. Plus Hrenak and Pool Party. So Hrenak is... meh. I'll be generous and say 1 upgrade there. So to work out overall in this deal, Pool Party has to have less than, in my mind, 3 upgrades. Which I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty sure he will. Yeah, just... yeah, he's really not done much. He's cheap, he's solid, he's a decent death player, but he's a jag. I'm okay with that. Tip it for a pair of seconds. Tip it for a pair of seconds. Let's clear the Tippett deals. In fact, there's only going to be 2 deals I'm actually going to keep on the table here anyway. That's the Tippett one. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, Vancouver should be the first one we come across here. Right? It was Vancouver. Yeah, because of Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes. Okay, and then LA after that. There we go. So that's Quinn Hughes. Then we've got Eichel, which is a really good deal, don't get me wrong, but that's not what the value is. And then you've got Kaliev. So yeah, getting those 2 picks back I think is good. And then if I'm going to do this deal, can I add in even more? Can I be like stupid about it? Okay, so they want... yeah, but that's being accepted, so it's a top 4 pick. See, that's what I don't like. It's the game is going to protect it, but that's what they offered me. And I'd like to get more back for it. But they won't let me get more back for it. Okay, so Calgary, I think we're just going to force this one through as it is then. Just get me that 4th overall for Georgiev. I'm sure we'd be able to do more than that, but it was accepted and that was the deal in place. And then I got a big choice here to make. Big choice to make there. Yeah, they're both kind of borderline playoff teams. I got Quinn Hughes and I got Arthur Kaliev. And that's very difficult. Okay. So look at the Kaliev deal. Yeah, they've called up all their prospects. They had some really good prospects. Holtz has had a fantastic season. I know that. Theo Rocher we almost picked up in a different trade last time. And Mittelstadt, I mean, there's players here we could probably bring back. Lindholm in a first. I think that's probably all we can get. Unless we were to throw in someone like that. So Kaliev in a first. That just works. Okay, that just works. Okay. Quinn Hughes, I really want Kaliev now. I really want Kaliev, but I don't need him. I really want Quinn Hughes, but I don't need him. Okay, so 2 firsts, a second. Lindholm and Verlainen. Verlainen, I should say. Kaki? I mean, that might not be a bad idea. I think there's other defensemen I like, and like that defensive core is just terrifying. Yeah, he's going to be an offensive defenseman, and that's great. Yeah, just outside the top 50. We'd upgrade Kaki into Quinn Hughes. We'd get rid of Verlainen, and Verlainen is solid, but probably third or fourth goalie, and won't get called up. Like, after Georgiev's left, he's third or fourth. Probably third goalie. So he won't get called up. Bednar's going to get called up. So moving him on is good. Lindholm is someone we don't need. Is about to go into a big contract we really don't need. He's a really good piece, but we won't feel his departure, hopefully, with other players stepping up. Quinn Hughes, 2 firsts and a second. Massively upgrade in terms of a defensive prospect. Get a ton back for a forward that we don't need. And not really weaken the team. That, I think, is that deal. What else can we give up? When were you taken? Round 6. You're going to be cheap. You're going to be solid. You're going to be a bit of a two-way player, you know. Kent Johnson, maybe? Maybe. Okay. So we upgrade our second. So we think that's going to be better. In fact... give me 26. Oh, they don't have a first back then. I think I might already have that. Okay, so we'll push that second rounder back to 26. Kent Johnson is a depth guy that maybe is a fourth liner. Just thrown in. We upgrade our second in 2026. We get 2 first-rounders back for Elias Lindholm. And Kaki and Vevalainen become Quinn Hughes. Finalize that deal. Finalize that deal. Yeah. Okay, Philip, go sit for the rest of the season. You can go sit down. Quinn Hughes, Struble. Yeah, that's yeah, well, Lindholm might go at the end of the year. If we lift the cup, Lindholm's probably gone. And at that stage, Quinn Hughes slides right into that spot. Rasmus Dahlin slides in. Struble, that's great. Great setup on that left-hand side. Like to see more of the McAvoy. Dobson, doing okay. Foudy, doing okay. But they're a little bit lacking on the right. But I think that all helps up. You are right-handed, so I can move you, or are you just left-handed? Left-handed, okay. Yeah, the left-hand side doesn't change. We don't really lose quality in the center. But I do need a right wing, a forward, and a goalie. So we know that Bednar's coming up. We know Bobby Brink's going to be coming up. So yeah, it'll be a forward. Kemmel, Pinto. I mean, Pinto's being paid decent. So Skarek and Broberg really aren't happy. That's fine. Yeah, I just think it's going to be one of these three. 23 points, 45 points, 43 points. Pinto's slightly better defensively, you know. Gonna call him up. Let the others have their time down there. So trading away some of our pieces. Askarov and Bednar now in goal. The way Askarov's been playing, if he continues that as the starter, we're going to be fine. If not, that's a big loss out to Georgiev. But like I say, we're 105 points with 2/3 of the season being Askarov anyway. And Bednar is not going to be much worse than him. I really don't think so. I hope not. I really hope not. Quinn Hughes comes into defense to help out. Slight upgrade there. We don't lose anything really. We lose a 5-star player, but we still keep that center core looking really solid. Devine gets a better line. Fantilli will get more games to try and get him developed. Beignet steps up after a great season into the second line. And we lose Owen Tippett, who was the third line right wing, who we didn't see anything from, and Bobby Brink gets a shot, and he was way above his level in the AHL. I think that's really good. I think that's really, really good. I'm pretty happy there. Howard, Bordeaux, Vatsiakuri. I don't see anything there. I see a lot here, though. Like a Quinton Byfield. To really do that. Oh, my God. To kickstart the right wing back the way it should be. Kapokako. Ooh. Ooh. That could be interesting. If the goalkeeping doesn't work out the way I want to do, we've also got some goalie options. Yeah. You know what? I really like that. I really like that. And I can give up picks to get Kapokako or Quinn Byfield. I can do that. I can do that. Adam Werner. Okay, they still own his rights. That's fine. Okay. No compensation. Okay, yeah, I'll take Adam Werner. I will take Adam Werner. Because, yeah, I think he fits in quite nicely. We drop out Skarek. We keep Krona there for now, but drop him out probably soon. Werner can play AHL or get a better deal. And Krona can play it. We'll just draft a goalie. We've got the picks. Yeah, no, I'm actually very happy with that. I just wonder if I should have gone for Kaliev, though. I'm just wondering if I should have gone for Kaliev. Okay. If we put Kaliev in, what could we give up? What actually could we give up? Olofsson and picks. Olofsson and picks. Colorado's first there. Colorado's first there. Don't really want to give up anything in that last year. Give them Colorado's second. What should I say? 2 seconds, 2 first for Olofsson to get at the Kaliev. Oh, it's close. It's close. It's close. 3 firsts and a second, plus Olofsson for Kaliev. Screw it. we're rebuilding. We're rebuilding on the fly to get younger, to get better, to get everything in. Okay, Kaliev. DeBrusque up to the first line. Kaliev on the second line. Denisenko, Suzuki can fight it out. Denisenko's going to win. Third line minutes. Suzuki on the fourth line next season. I see the future after Johnny Gaudreau very clearly now. And if Kaliev does play that well for us as well, I'm going to be very, very happy with him. I got Quinn Hughes and I got Kaliev. We give up draft picks we've been stacking. We've still got enough for Quinton Byfield or whoever else is up in free agency. I'm happy with that. I mean, I wonder if Kako should be the guy we go after on the right. But if it works out, it's going to be great. Okay. Quick look here. Again, at the league. At the wild cards. So Boston and Tampa Bay. Currently. Looks like an interesting mix of teams. Pittsburgh's having a really bad year. Yeah, Toronto having a really bad year. Anaheim doing well. Like, the points totals here suck. The Pacific Division sucks. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Very solid though. And we might have a top 4 pick. We might have a lottery pick with Calgary. So that's really, really interesting as well as part of those deals. So we're 1 overtime loss, which is tied with Seattle for the lowest. 9 regular losses, 52 wins, blowing even Colorado at the water there. 105, 286 goals, by far the best. 129 goals against, by far the best. And again, mainly with Askarov, 28-2-0, 24-7-1. So the road's really good, but it's not the way we're winning this league. Quick look at the stats as we go towards the end of the season. Player stats. At this stage, 63 games played. I'm going to say you only qualify if you've got 35 or more games under your belt. Okay, so Connor McDavid is number 1 in the league with 45. Johnny Gaudreau is number 2. Jake DeBrusque is up there on 9th. Look at that. That's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Beignets is a 30-goal scorer already as well. Just outside the top 15. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. Assists back over the 49. He's on for 50 this season. That's impressive. Really like that. DeBrincat and Johnny Gaudreau will get 45. Noah Dobson from the back end with 40. And points. Yeah, McDavid's having a wonderful season. Jeepers, is he having a great season. But Johnny Gaudreau, well up the list. Back of is there Jake DeBrusk and Alex DeBrincat as well. Very happy. Do we have a game rating winner? Do we have someone that's going to be way, way up here? We could have had Jack Eichel, remember. That trade was on the table. We decided to go a different way. Johnny Gaudreau's 15th with 75. Okay. But yeah, McKinnon's falling off a little bit. He doesn't perform great sometimes. Austin Matthews, they should be up here, I think, easily. They should be high 70s, low 80s. But McDavid's going to win that one. Goalie stats. This one I'm really interested in. John Gibson with an extra win in 9 extra games. More than double the losses. Goal against. He is 3rd in the league. Samsonov's number 2 with a 2 goal against average. Askarov on 186 from 43 games. 7 shutouts. And a 911 save percentage, which isn't amazing, but by God is it good enough. Gibson's up there. Primo at Chicago, 919, 241 goals, 30 wins in 45, so he is playing okay. Hey, he's holding that 4-star though. He is holding that 4-star. That's a good trade for both of us. But yeah, that's a very, very decent way of playing. Oh my God. 3.7 goals a game for Ottawa. 4.6. Just blowing people out the water. 2.06 ahead of Washington's 216. 47 shots on target per game. 21.55 against. Face-offs of 52.7 is good enough for 3rd in the league as well. We do not shot block. We do not throw the body. We don't take the puck away. We don't either really take it, give it away. And injuries this season, 36. Yeah, the team stayed healthy. That's helped us out big time. Big time. But yeah, we're lurking. We're in the conversations. We're in the conversations. We're doing well. Penalty kill is 3rd. Power play is 3rd in the league. So yeah, on all cylinders, we're looking really good. So we're going to chop and change and get things up and running. It's filthy. It's a filthy lineup. It's a filthy lineup. Okay, I'm going to the playoffs. Well, I'll meet you there for the end of season wrap-up and sort of discussion on those moves. But let me know what you think of those in the comment section below. Did we abuse the system? Did we pay too much? Did we pay too little? Did we do things right, wrong? How? Let me know what you feel and any suggestions you may have. But like I say, I'm very happy with that worked out. I think Kaliev was very, very expensive. I'll say that. Very expensive. But we've got the picks to spend. It doesn't hurt us from getting probably Kapokako and Quinn Byfield if we really wanted to. And still keep number 4 this year. Or currently number 4 this year. With the Flames. Who are currently, still stuck on number 4. They're number 4. Maybe number 5 now. Dallas falling down a little bit. Devils right in touch. So they're in that mix. They're in that mix for a top 5 pick. So hey, who knows? We might win the lottery, get number 1 overall out of that Calgary pick on top of everything. So I don't think it hurts us at all. We're in a really good position. We're having a belter of a season. And Askarov was the key. Askarov's been the key in net. So hopefully throughout the playoffs he does the same thing. I'll see you there. Till then, take care, behave, see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And wish me luck. Because I think we're about to go deep. and maybe, just maybe, win Cup 25 for the Montreal Canadiens. I'll see you there.